No need to adjust your screen. This is the right angle. I'm live at Jack's house, and we have your Week 5 picks of the National Football League in, and we can't wait to get it underway, plus a recap of yesterday's horrendous Bears vs. Commanders game next on Surge Sports. Welcome to Jack's house. I'm Elijah White. I'm joined alongside Jack Rizzo. And yeah, we are live here for the 12th Horseshoe podcast. We have a St. Mary's football game coming up. It's a big matchup featuring the Hasbrook Heights Aviators, Jack's hometown, versus the St. Mary Gales. Go Gales, as there's a big matchup for a league crossover game happening, and around 7 o'clock. Coverage will begin at 6:40. But before we get to that, we need to update with our picks. Jack, how are you doing to start off with?
Well, I'm doing great. It feels crazy that we're both here together. First time we've ever done this. We're usually see each other through the screen, but we were here first to do this. So yeah, we will. But let's just get right into it. Let's start off, Eli, with last night's Thursday night game.
Absolutely.
The Bears on the road against the Commanders. Well, first off, we want to RIP to Dick Buck, the Bears legend who passed away yesterday at the age of 80. RIP to Dick Butkus. It definitely looked like the Bears were going out there. They were playing hard for him. They won 40-20. Their first win in nearly a calendar year. Their 14-game losing streak is over. DJ Moore, over 200 yards receiving, 3 touchdowns. Probably going to be the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. I know It's only Thursday night, but it wasn't a great game for us because we both picked the Commanders to win. We both had them for our Survivor, and Eli also had them for the Lock of the Week. And that's your first loss of the season and Lock of the Week.
Yes. So what I could say about this game is, how dare the Bears lose to the Denver Broncos, but somehow win against a team that has been playing amazing for the past 4 weeks, especially against last week versus the Philadelphia Eagles, which went now 4-0, heading to 5-0 this weekend. We'll get to that pick in a little bit later. But man, that was just a crazy game. Huge job for the Bears. But why couldn't we do that versus Denver Broncos? And we'll get to the Denver Broncos choice in just a little bit. Let's get started with all the picks and everything. We'll start off with Buffalo versus Jacksonville. Buffalo's in favor by 5.5 this weekend. They're going to be in London, 9:30 a.m. on NFL Network. No longer ESPN Plus, just that one game and special choice for broadcasters.
This game's at Tottenham Stadium, not Wembley.
Yes, now the next two will be at Tottenham Stadium.
Yep.
And then they'll fly over to Germany in November for the next 2 weeks.
And the Colts are playing in Germany. And we also have a really awesome Chiefs-Dolphins game that is coming up in a few weeks. But that's week 9. We're in week 5 right now. But
yeah, so first you got to settle in on this pick. So I'm taking the Buffalo Bills to win 20-16. I think Buffalo is the better team going into this game. Despite Jacksonville's win, I think Jacksonville just got lucky, and I think now it's time for Buffalo to secure the deal.
Those are showing everyone right now why not to overreact to a week 1 game. I know they lost to the Jets, but they have scored 115 points in their final 3 games. They're on fire. I know the Jags won last week. They seem to play very well when they're in London. I know they're in London again, which would think a Jags win. But no, the Bills just beat the Dolphins by 28 points. They're not slowing anytime soon. The Bills win in a thriller, 34-31. That might be closer than some people might think.
I agree, 100%.
But I like this Bills team a lot. They're 3-1. I don't even know if I think there's only like one team that's beating the Bills right now. They're one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now.
All right, let's get to the next pick. The Texans take on the Falcons. Atlanta's favored by 1.5. I am taking the Falcons to win this game 30-27. I like the Texans a lot. They are a really good team, but I feel like after a big loss last week to Jacksonville in London, I think they're able to bounce back and to secure a win, especially being at home in Atlanta. They're a good team, new chance. I love C.J. Stroud and the Texans, but I think I have to take Atlanta for this weekend.
Texans have played really well. You got to give a lot of credit to DeMeco Ryans in the way he's building a new culture in Houston. C.J. Stroud having a hell of a season so far. I don't believe he has an interception yet. It looks like he's might be on his way to offensive rookie of the year, although Puka Nacua and with the Rams making a case as well. And the Falcons these two teams are having in opposite directions. The Falcons started 2-0, lost their last 2, scored just 1 offensive touchdown. The Texans started out 0-2. They are now 3. They've won their last 2, scoring over 30 in each of them. I know the Falcons are favored, but I've actually got the Texans winning pretty comfortably, 28-17 on the road. CJ Stroud not slowing down anytime soon. Surprised with how well the Falcons defense has been playing early in the season, but
Right.
I think CJ Stroud is just that good, and he's gonna have a great game on the road. And I think Desmond Ridder is going to probably get benched soon. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Taylor Heineke, especially if the Falcons are struggling in the first half of this game. Desmond Ridder, I think, is on borrowed time, but we'll have to see. It's actually one of the games I'm looking forward to the most this week.
Absolutely, 100%. That game's at 1 p.m. on Fox. The next 1 p.m. on Fox game is the Carolina Panthers at the Detroit Lions. Detroit is in favor by 9 points this game. I am taking the Lions 31-20. Clearly, the Lions are the team. And against this Panthers team that showed a lot of struggle, I think the Lions could definitely get this win. Now, we've seen some craziness happen this weekend, including the Bears' drought getting changed yesterday in Washington on Thursday Night Football. So there is chance that Panthers could do a good performance, but I think that Detroit is going to have the victory, though.
The Panthers are now the last team in the NFL that has not won a game yet. So let's laugh at Frank Reich. He's stinking it up there in Carolina. No offensive touch. They have two offensive touchdowns all year with Bryce Young in, and one of them was in garbage time. So, but I have got the Lions winning this one very easily, 27-6. That loss against Seattle was crazy, but I think Seattle should be 4-0. Okay.
All right.
But
so
yeah, wait, hang on. I'm sorry. I also wanted to mention real quick that what did I want? I forgot what I wanted to mention.
You'll get back to that in just a moment. In the meantime, let's get to our next game. The Titans at the Colts. You heard us breakdown a reaction on the Horseshoe Show, which we appreciate you watching. Indianapolis is favored by...
Tennessee's a 2.5-point favorite now.
Thank you. I will update the spread later. Okay. Titans, Colts, 1 p.m. CBS.
Tennessee, 2.5-point favorites.
Titans to win it, 26-23.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one for the Colts. No Shaq Leonard, no Kwity Paye, no Bernard Ryman again. Jonathan Taylor might play. I think he is going to play, but we'll have to see.
Wow.
So if Jonathan Taylor is back, that's big. I'm picking the Titans to win, though, 21-17.
But he does this for a reason, though, because they always win, Colts.
No, this time I actually think the Titans are going to win, though.
Okay.
I actually
change of mind for Jack. All right, let's get to the next one. Giants, Philadelphia.
But wait, hang on. I want to say that game is going to depend on what kind of Titans team do we get. Do we get the team that played against Cincinnati last week and won 27-3, or the team that played against Cleveland, lost 27-3, and Derrick Henry had 20 rushing yards?
That's a good point.
Let's go to the next one.
Okay, 9.5 favorite for Miami. The Giants.
It might be more now.
Horrible. Now, I'm sure the spread's larger now. But yeah, as you mentioned, 9.5 Miami's favorite. The Giants, who were horrible versus Seattle Seahawks. Thank you, Seattle, for the victory in MetLife. Versus Miami Dolphins, 1 p.m. on Fox from Miami. If the Dolphins don't win this game, we have a problem. So that is why I'm taking them to win 35-10 over the New York Football Giants. And if the Giants win, there might be problems.
If the Dolphins lose this game, then the Chargers, Patriots, and Broncos must be that bad.
That bad, exactly.
It's not going to happen, though, guys. It is not going to happen. The Dolphins win 38-17. That's honestly probably a closer game than what most people are thinking.
I thought it should.
It's a 21-point win.
After that Commanders game, I now regret not taking them as my lock of the week. But whatever, we'll get to that later.
Yep.
Saints and the Patriots. New England's favored by 1.5. That game is 1 p.m. on CBS. I am taking the Patriots to win 21-18. They're the better team. Saints are okay. Struggled with Buccaneers last week, and I think this is another okay matchup and an easy strength of schedule for the New Orleans Saints so far.
This is the second and only game that Eli and I actually disagree on this week, so a little spoiler alert.
Okay.
I'm taking the Saints, though, 16-15. Patriots, man, they just look so bad. They put up 3 points against the Cowboys defense last week, the worst loss in the Bill Belichick era. Their 1-1 came against the Jets, and they nearly gave up a Hail Mary at the end to blow it.
Absolutely.
I know the Saints stunk it up last week, but Derek Carr should be healthier this week. I think it's going to be a really sloppy defensive game, but I think the Saints ultimately pull it out. They've got to get back on track. They were well on their way to starting 3-0. Blew that big lead to the Packers and have not recovered. They've got to recover this week. They've got to get back on track because this division is pretty wide open. So They got to take advantage of every opportunity they have.
And before we move on to our next matchup, let's just remind the bye weeks officially start this week. And the 4 teams on bye this week is Seattle, the Seattle Seahawks, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Cleveland Browns, and the Los Angeles Chargers. They're all on bye this week. We will get to more on that on our breakdown show, what we can expect for them after this week of bye. Coming up now, we have the Ravens versus Steelers, 1 p.m. on CBS. Baltimore is in favored by 4.5. I'm taking the Ravens 26-7. I don't like the Steelers team at all this year. Ravens look like the better team. Everybody kept saying, "Oh, they're gonna be so good this year." They were never good to begin with, so I had to take the Baltimore Ravens.
I actually have a very similar pick to you. I've got 24-7, the Ravens.
All right.
You have 26-7. So we were pretty much on the same page with this. Kenny Pickett might not even play. He's dealing with a knee injury. He's expected, I think, to play, but even if he does, he's probably not going to be 100%. And come on, this Ravens defense is really good. But they did lose to the Colts, though.
Yes, they did.
They did.
So
lose
that's something to keep in mind about. All right, before we get into our upcoming games, as a reminder, Jack has had 2 correct score predictions. Will he go for 3, or will I get the first score right this time? So we'll find out.
Let's interrupt here. Eli, looking at my score predictions right now, which one do you think has the best chance of being correct?
Ooh.
Which one are you going to go with?
Dang it, Jack. I'm going to have to say the Philadelphia Eagles pick.
All right. Well, we're not gonna mention the score
before we get to that.
Let me say for Eli, because I hope Eli gets a correct score prediction too. I like his Jets score prediction the most.
All right. Well, before we get to our next picks and before we get to our 4:00 hour of games, let's remind everybody of the locks of the week. We both picked up for Survivor Commanders. That was a fail. I picked the Commanders for lock. That was wrong. You still have a lock left. What are you going to lock in this week?
Most people probably be surprised I'm not picking the Dolphins. I'm actually gonna pick the Detroit Lions over the Carolina Panthers,
and that's a risky game too.
I don't think so. The Panthers have just looked so bad.
I know they look bad, but comparing it to just seeing how bad the NFL week has changed so far, I don't know. I wouldn't choose. That's a scary lock.
Yeah, but that means the Dolphins could lose too, though. If this week is gonna be crazy.
That's true too.
Yeah, I'm not changing it. Lions lock of the week over the Carolina Panthers.
All right, let's get into our 4:00 hour, and the Bengals take on the Arizona Cardinals. 4:05 p.m. on
Can
Fox.
I do this game first?
Yeah, we'll get to that first, and then 4.5 Cincinnati's in favorite somehow. You want to go ahead and talk about it?
Cardinals 28-24, upset of the week. That is my upset pick of the week. The Arizona Cardinals have played a lot better than their 1-3 record indicates. They were in it with San Francisco for 3 quarters last week, and fortunately the Niners pulled away because it got my score prediction right. They beat the Cowboys. They should have beat the Giants. You can even argue they could have beat the Commanders. They could be like 3-1 right now. The Bengals look awful. So give me the Arizona Cardinals at home for my upset pick of the week.
Guess what? I also chose them as my upset of the week. I've also taken them as upset of the week. Cardinals over Bengals 30-26. We're having a fun night. Cardinals take the victory.
I'm sorry. We both agree on it. And sorry about the noise in the background. We have to work around some things. All right, we're going to go through this quickly.
Okay.
Eagles, Rams, 4:05 on Fox. Eagles, 4.5-point favorites. I've got the Eagles 31-21. I think the Rams are going to keep this close for a while, but I think the Eagles are ultimately the better team. I know they've struggled at points this season, but I think they're going to get on track this week, win on the road against the Rams. But potentially getting Cooper Kupp back is going to be huge for the Rams, but I've still got the Eagles winning.
Eagles 35-32. They are the better team.
That's a high-scoring game.
It's a high-scoring game, but they're both good teams. And we'll see what happens next. I'm going to take now. We have the Jets-Broncos, 4:25 p.m. on CBS. 2.5 favor for Denver. Not a huge fan of this game, but I am never going to pick the Denver Broncos at the day of my life.
There you go.
So the Jets will actually get a win this weekend. That involves Zach Wilson as their quarterback for the full game without any interruptions. So Jets win 20-10.
Broncos country, let's cry. Jets win. Jets win.
Go.
Jets win.
High five.
Jets win 17-10. Low scoring game. Both these defenses are Broncos defense is not good, but they're going to play better this week. But it doesn't matter. Jets are still going to win.
Chiefs Vikings 4:25 p.m. on CBS. KC Kansas City is in favor by 5.5. I have to take the Chiefs 42-12.
Wow.
I don't think I have faith in this Vikings teams, and the Chiefs are. Let's just say, how about those Chiefs this year? Even though I'm not a huge fan of the Chiefs.
The Chiefs let Zach Wilson stay in that game for a while.
That is true,
what happens with Kirk Cousins, especially on the road again? But no, I'm still taking the Chiefs to win 35-21. I think this game could actually be pretty close. I mean, I don't think the Vikings are going to win by any means, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is within 7 points. But give me the Chiefs to win 35-21 and see if they can get to 4-1 on the season.
All right, let's go to our 8 o'clock Sunday night football game on NBC, 8:20 p.m. San Francisco 49ers are home to take on the Dallas Cowboys.
What a game.
Game of the week.
That is our game of the week. Consensus game of the week.
Game of the week.
I mean, you just look at this matchup board. It's clearly the one we picked.
3.5 San Francisco's in favor. I have to go with America on this one. San Francisco to win this one 35-30. It's going to be a high-scoring game. San Francisco's the better team, though. If Dallas lost to the Arizona Cardinals, which should have been an easy win, then you have no chance in the rest of the competition against, especially San Francisco 49ers and Brock Purdy, who has not had a loss yet other than the playoffs.
11-0, and it's going to be 12-0. The 49ers win 24-13. I mean, the Cowboys' 3 wins have come against the Giants, the Jets, and the Patriots. 3 teams that have looked pretty horrible this year. Give me the 49ers. CMC is going to run wild. The defense is going to play out of their mind. Brock Purdy, MVP. Go 49ers.
And our final game of the week on Monday Night Football on ABC and ESPN at 8:15 p.m. It's the Packers versus the Las Vegas Raiders from Las Vegas. 1.5 Green Bay is in favor. I have to take Packers to win 19-17. Packers look like the better team versus Las Vegas Raiders team, but I might be wrong about this one. But I'm going to take them to win 19-17.
Packers 26-19. They've got to bounce back, especially after losing to Detroit at home last week, and they will bounce back. I feel pretty good about it. The Raiders. Week 1 win against Broncos was fun while it lasted, but reality's starting to settle in. Give me the Packers. And before we sign off, we forgot to mention this at the beginning, but we have a trade in the NFL today. Chase Claypool goes to actually, we have 2 trades this week, and they are actually exactly the same. J.C. Jackson goes from the Chargers to the Patriots in exchange for, so the Patriots get Jackson and a 7th, and the Chargers get a 6th. The Bears trade Claypool to the Dolphins. The Dolphins get a 7th and Claypool for a 6th. So 2 players who, well, J.C. Jackson got paid $82.5 million, one of the worst contracts ever, and Chase Claypool, one of the worst trades ever. The Bears give up a 2nd-round pick, which turned out to be the number 32 pick, which should have been a 1st-round pick. But both these players have been traded.
All right, well, that is your recap of the week.
Preview
of the week, preview.
And we do want to mention real quick that we have the captions, are going to have the captions in pink for all of October to support Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's a really great cause and something that we need to, support.
Pay more attention to.
Exactly.
All right, so the Gales of St. Mary's takes on the Aviators of Hasbrook Heights tonight at 7 o'clock. Our pregame coverage begins on Surge Sports at 6:40 p.m. We hope to see you there. Of course, Jack and I will be on the call, so that's why we did an earlier edition today, shorter show today. But we cannot wait for it. It's going to be Friday night under the lights.
Yep.
On Surge Sports.
And before we sign off, let's do one more high five. I think 3 times make it better.
All right, 3 times make it better. Let's hope it's a good week, and let's have a fun one. It's football, everybody, this week. Starts tonight with high school football. Join me tomorrow for Sports and Mano a Mano at 10 a.m. for an all-sports recap. And we'll be back on Tuesday for the 12th Horseshoe Podcast. Breakdowns and reactions for week number 5 in the National Football League. See you tonight, folks, at 6:40 for the pregame show for the Gales and the Aviators. Good night.